I'm so happy that you've joined us. I'm so happy that you've joined us. Right here on Kayfabe Talk Radio. I'm on here with Eric the Red and your other host J.R. Earls. Here we are talking about wrestling.
All is ready.
You are listening to Kayfabe Talk Radio. Kayfabe Talk Radio.
Say, little bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the school, I can get them both, I don't wanna choose. And I'm quick, cut a nigga off, so don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now, I make money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move.
Kayfabe Talk Radio. Welcome everyone to this week. I am Eric the Red, joined along with, as always,
J.R. Earls and
Mr. Bonesaw.
You know, guys, it's great to be back this week. I'm sorry I wasn't there last week, but you know what, man? I'm sitting here, and I've got a big old plate of TNA pizza. And I gotta tell you, man, it tastes like the leather off of a wrestler's boot. It really does. And then I also bought one of those mystery beverages that they are selling, and the mystery is over. It is canned sweat from Bobby Lashley's jockstrap. It's pretty raunchy shit, man. I mean, there you go.
Oh, so that means it's left over because he's not even there anymore.
What?
That means that shit's left over because he ain't even there anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, they wrung it out. You know.
No, they had it at the press conference when they were doing the pizza scam.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Oh my goodness. Guys, we are really close to Halloween and I'm really excited, man. I mean, I love this time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year, and I'm busy, everybody's having a good time, and it's wonderful. I mean, what do you guys have? Are you guys have plans for the actual day itself, cuz it's on a Monday this year?
No, it's on a Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah, it's on Tuesday. That's right.
I really don't have plans, quite honestly.
Really?
Dude, I'm pretty much throwing the Halloween parties that are on the weekends, and that's really it. That's really, like, I don't know, man. It's like, once you get to my age, unless you have kids, there's really not much to do except for go to a friend's house and, you know, celebrate that way.
Yeah, I remember those days. I do. I remember when I was, like, you know, in my 20s and you know, I would usually, of course, I would usually go to wrestling, you know, shows and stuff with, and we would always have, you know, some candy, or we'd give out, like, candy to the kids if they dressed up or whatever. But, you know, beyond that, one year, though, I do want to tell you this is really cool. One year, we had a show when I was part of APW up at the gym up at Oak Hill, up at the Armory, okay? And the show actually fell on Halloween night. So everybody dressed up, and yes, I dug out my old karate gi, and I had my friend who was an airbrush artist put a airbrush of this beautiful iguana on the back of it, right?
Nice.
And I had him put the name Alfie on the front, just like Ricky's gis, you know, with the dragons and all that shit. And I totally steamboat my costume, dude. I went out there and wrestled as Alfie the Iguana Showboat.
Oh, you fucking Mark.
I sure as fuck did, baby.
Mark.
I had the best fucking time. Fuck you, it was hilarious. We had a guy out there, he wrestled as Spider Crowley, and everybody thought he was Sting any fucking way. So he actually did a Sting face paint, And we're talking crow sting. He had like this crow sting look anyway. So he went out there and he was stung. And then we had a couple other guys. You know, we had a Hulk Hogan, we had a Randy Savage, we had a Bret Hart. Of course, we all made gimmick names for him, but it was a lot of fun, and it was supposed to be fun, you know. And the fans, you know, the best part, the fans actually got it. The fans were not like, "What are they doing?" No, they were like, "Oh, that's hilarious." So it's like they weren't smarks by any stretch of the imagination, but they
weren't stupid enough to not catch on.
Gotcha. Right, and they were like, "Oh, that's cool." You know, they're dressed up as their, you know, as the, you know, the famous wrestlers, is what one person said. That was kind of hurtful, but you know, because he called them famous wrestlers, and
it is, man.
Hey, we were famous too. Damn it, in our minds, we were legends in our own minds.
Hey man, this is like the one, like I was at an indie show, like, I guess if you want to call it. I was at like some like fundraiser or whatever a few years ago, with my girlfriend at the time, and like they did some fucking really mediocre wrestling show, and like I didn't know anyone except for like the ref. This guy's name was like Sean Wiggins, and you know, he was a friend of mine, and like I'm watching the show, and I'm just, like, thinking, like, this is mediocre, because everyone's doing, like, a Vince finish. One guy had a bald head, came out on a motorcycle, doing a stunner. One guy's doing a tombstone pile driver, and he's fucking dressed like fucking Leatherface. One guy's doing, the John Cena's attitude adjuster. It's like, everyone's doing, like, WWE moves. Right. And I'm like, oh, this is, like, a direct, like... No one gives a like. It's like a direct, like, we're not even gonna try. We're just gonna like appeal to people that aren't even wrestling fans. Mm-hmm. But you know, it is.
Eric, did you like it?
No, I mean, when it was over, sure.
Honestly, I wouldn't have been upset about it. I mean,
it was a free show, so I can't complain. I guess I can complain.
There you go. Yeah.
It was a fucking free show. Shit.
Hey, if it's free, free is the best price. I don't care what people say. You know, but I'm glad that, you know, it's just sad that, you know, that they were doing that, and you know, well, remember that guy a couple of years ago that blatantly ripped off the Ultimate Warrior's gimmick?
Renegade?
No.
That dude is dead. He killed himself.
No. This is an indie guy.
That'll be Kalisto in 3 years.
The same face paint, same gimmick, even the same music. He was basically calling himself the Ultimate Warrior something or other, and of course then Warrior came back to WWE and then died the next day. But still, this was something that they were doing. So yeah, I mean, you know, we had a guy that I knew called Stunning Shane Austin. And he basically stole.
God.
Oh yeah, man! But he called himself Stunning, but yet it was a blatant ripoff of Stone Cold.
No
and he would
shit.
come out, and he had the vest, the bald head, the blue jeans. He wrestled in blue jeans and combat boots, and he would come out there and do his gimmick. And he would, instead of beer, it was Pepsi, which made even less sense.
Dude, at least you could have took the blue can and, like, printed out, like, Bud Light and just pasted it on the can. Like, come on now. That's fucking lazy. I mean,
it was pretty bad, and we were all just like, does this guy really think he's okay?
Like we mentioned TNA. Like, I remember, like, James Storm would come out and people were like, oh, yeah, he's a badass cowboy, and he's drinking beer. Dude, he was drinking fucking bottled root beer. And all he did was just put a fucking Budweiser logo on it. That's all he did, was just put a Budweiser sticker. That's all you gotta do. It's not a... Yeah.
Yeah.
Put some work into your gimmick every now and then.
You could drink the beer.
No, you really... well, if you're a worker, you really can't. That's why, like people love to say, oh, Austin didn't know. When Austin was working in the ring... If you notice, he let it go down, like down his shirt or down his stomach. He wouldn't actually drink the beer.
I was gonna say if he swallowed any of it, it was by accident.
Yeah, he used to like spit it out and everything. Like he wouldn't drink it.
I would have been like Sandman.
Yeah, it was an aesthetic. Sandman
is the exception to the rule.
Sandman, Jake the Snake, and Scott Hall, to my knowledge, are the only ones that got away with working drunk.
Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of Jake,
no, Flair too. Flair.
yes, Flair too. And speak. Well, no, Flair worked hungover because like the stories that like Magnum TA told.
I actually have a funny story about Sandman. Apparently, did you ever hear about the time he almost died?
Which time?
Oh yeah, shit yeah. This was on Steve Austin's podcast. Tommy Dreamer talked about Tommy Dreamer died. I forget if you remember the whole story, please tell. I did kind of forget the details.
Apparently they went out. It was Tommy Dreamer and I think Sabu, and they were supposed to be going to some show. Now, apparently he gets so fucked up on whatever the hell he was taking, plus the alcohol, and it didn't mix well. So he died. Sandman fucking died. He was dead for like a good minute or two, and they brought him to the hospital. They thought he was dead. They brought him to the hospital. They got him into the emergency room. They go back to the show. I think they tell Paul Heyman's like, look, Sandman, he's dead. We tried to get him to the hospital. He was gone.
Rhino was crying.
Rhino was crying. Everybody's like freaking out, like because Paul Heyman's like scrambling to like have them like come up with a new match like right on the spot. This motherfucker comes strolling in. Apparently he woke in the fucking emergency room and like got the fuck out of there because he knew he had to do a match. So this motherfucker died, came back, and went to do his match, like right after he found out.
I fucking died. I just don't sell that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what? God's told me it's time? No, fuck you. I gotta go work, Mikey Whipwreck. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on after intermission. Fuck it.
Not now, God. Steve Carino and Justin Crowell talking shit about me in the ring.
My favorite part of the whole story, what I'm taking away from that, is that Paul Heyman had to scramble to find another match.
Like that couldn't sound any more WCW-ish.
I know, right?
He's
dead. Well, let's reconfigure the card.
This Paul Heyman was a fucking guy where he would just be like, all right, just do this then. That's fine, and then it would work. And as opposed to like WCW, where I was rewatching the Monday Night War documentary the other day, and they're just like, oh, well, Hogan, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to change this, brother. Sting, what do you want to do? I don't want to do this. All right, so, like, what are we doing? We're going live in, like, 5 minutes.
Exactly. It's like, well, we're screwed, you know.
Yeah, well, anyway, we got a lot of shit to get into. Since we brought up just now WCW, Earls, want to get your thoughts. Well, there's two things we didn't talk about last week I want to get your thoughts on that we saved. One thing is War Games returning but this time to NXT on November 18th.
I think it's great, especially there, because the workers are going to be. It's going to be a good show if they're the ones in charge. If they're the ones doing it.
I'm sure you're going to watch that match at least.
Damn straight I am. I want to see that.
Yeah, to my knowledge,
I loved the War Games when I was a kid, man. My favorite memory of a War Games match was when Hawk was press slamming Beautiful Bobby into the roof of the cage.
I always like that spot.
Road Warrior Hawk had a handful of Beautiful Bobby and just rah, you know.
I always like that spot. And now, but I want to ask you, because I kind of have a hard time remembering this, since I watched a lot of this on VHS and shit. So, do you remember a War Games match where it was 3 versus 3 versus 3? Or is this like a newer stipulation?
It was always groups of 5.
Right. No, I know, but this time it's 3 teams against. It's 3 against 3 against 3. It's
okay. It's WWE'd it.
Yeah, it's Roderick Strong versus Paul Ellering's guys, the Authors of Pain, versus the Ring of Honor crew, which was Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish, versus Eric Young's group Sanity.
Okay. No, that's fine.
And they're all fucking kick-ass workers.
It's going to start the traditional way where, I guess they're going to start it with 3 guys in the ring at once.
I'm kind of not sure, mainly because they'll probably explain the rules how it will work the weeks prior on NXT. So once
I was curious about that.
Well, once we know the rules and shit, we'll bring it up again.
Okay, cool. Because dude, I loved the War Games. It was one of my absolute favorite matches. The only time that WWE ever came close to War Games was the Hell in a Cell. Not Hell in a Cell. Fuck. Yeah, Hell in a Cell. No.
You know what?
The Elimination Chamber. Thank you.
Yeah, but you know what they could have done, and this is why one of the reasons why I did watch TNA back in the day was because of Lethal Lockdown, if you remember.
Yes, I do.
For the fans that don't know what Lethal Lockdown was, it was 4 against 4, and they were inside a 6-side steel, and it was pretty much the heel gets the first pick. So like 2 guys start every 3 minutes. The heel comes in. By the time that babyface comes in, they have a roof that lowers with weapons, and that was always probably one of TNA's best concepts that they always did, and those matches were also always a lot of fucking fun. Because guys, you knew how to utilize it.
Oh, but I remember that one with it was AJ Styles, Christian.
Yes, there was one where AJ Styles was put a ladder on the roof and James Storm was laying on the table, which was also on the roof, and AJ climbed the ladder to like hang onto the ceiling and then dropped to do a splash. He jumped from the ceiling of the Impact Zone.
I think that was what, 2008?
No, that was right around the time they brought Christian in. I want to say 2006. Yeah, I want to say 2006.
Okay, that was the same card where Joe beat Angle for the
that one you're thinking of was 2008.
Okay.
See what they did was Lockdown was one of their bigger pay-per-views. That was like their Survivor Series, whatever you want to call it. They would do those shows in the Impact Zone up until 2006, and then from 2007 on, they were doing the shows on the road. But yeah, WWE though, and we'll move on. WWE fucked up with that chamber, because if I were them, I would have done a 3-on-3 where you could even done like the Shield against whomever, like the Wyatt family. In a War Game style Elimination Chamber match. It sets up itself. 2 guys start in the ring, flip the coin, one of the Wyatt guys come out, and then the Shield guy, etc.
Well, and I'm hearing all this, and to me, another thing that I'm hearing in my head is this is all still just a better concept than the WCW Tower of Terror. So. Oh,
that match fucking sucked. Balls.
No one knew how to do it because
that was the problem.
It was such a convoluted fucking idea.
You know the match the concept match that I did like, and it was the one that got people fired, was the one they had on the back of the semi truck.
I didn't like that.
Did you not? Oh, come on, man! I thought it was a good idea.
That was the one that got
Goldust fired.
Yeah.
Yep, Barry Darso didn't get in trouble, but
they got in trouble because of the blading.
It was a hard way. He didn't gig.
Huh.
That was hard way, and that was the thing that got everybody pissed off because it wasn't his fault. I mean, he's in this fucking thing going 40 miles an hour down the road. Okay, it was actually probably 10, but they said 40 miles an hour, and. They're swerving all over the road. There's shit going on. There's stuff flying at him. He falls into the cage and busts his head open. That's not his fault. Dusty was actually ready to quit over that. Dusty was like, "Fuck you! You're gonna fire my kid over something stupid? The hell with you!" And so, but they quickly reminded him of his contract and his oodles of money. And Dusty said, "Well, you know what? My son can go to WWF and become famous."
And then he became Goldust, and he wasn't sold on the gimmick until that awesome match against Piper. That match, I liked.
That was so good.
You want to do something? You want to do something?
My God!
You want to do something driving? the whole like recreating of the O.J. Simpson spot.
Yes, man.
That was fucking awesome.
My mom sat there. Okay, she was the biggest Piper fan on the planet. She was Piper like I am Steamboat and you are Austin. Okay, and like Patrick is for Bears. She's just
Stop Bears.
I love you, Pat.
Yeah, you only know about Bears because you're taking the ass by a bunch of them.
Hey, we're not talking about me here.
He admits it.
No, that was plausible deniability. I learned from Trump. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, so what happened was we're sitting there watching WrestleMania 12, and I was waiting for the Diesel Undertaker match,
Hairy guy.
Oh, Big Daddy, cool. Anyway, so we're sitting there. Fuck you. We're sitting there watching this thing, and I'm like, okay, well, this is gonna be the bathroom match. But honestly, I couldn't move. It was so good. I was literally just. And then when they finally brought it into the arena, and they stripped down Goldust, and he's in the negligee, I was like, wow, they are really pushing this envelope to a whole new level. I love it. So yeah, it was a hell of a show.
Yeah, that was like that's the one thing. Like looking back at the Goldust character, I really enjoyed the fact that this guy was pretty much the Attitude Era, really before the Attitude Era.
He was, yeah.
He was kind of like the real precursor. Because think about it, he was doing that before Austin 316, before DX, everything. He was like the first. He
was the weirdo, yeah.
It was pretty much the guinea pig. Goldust. And this is what you got to give credit to Dustin Rhodes. He was the guinea pig if this would actually work. If this like regime of pro wrestling would actually work in the WWF. So, anyway,
also, did you guys see? I know we got stuff to talk about, but did you guys see the new pop vinyls that are coming out? Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, and there's 2 of The Rock and 2 of Razor Ramon. One of the Razor Ramones is an NWO.
Oh shit!
You guys didn't see those? Hang on, I'll get you the pictures. I got them right here.
I did hear 2018 that the Bullet Club are getting some.
Yeah. They're gonna do Bullet Club. They're gonna do a whole bunch of new legends, and I hope there's a Steamboat. Even if it's the Dragon, I'm okay with it. I know Jake's gonna get one. I've heard that. What's his name? Come on, help me here. Big Boss Man. They're talking about a Big Boss Man pop.
I'm gonna be quite honest. I know people are gonna say Cobb County, Georgia, Boss Man, but I'm always gonna go for Attitude Era pre-Shield Boss Man over.
No, come on, man! I loved Hard Time. I loved. Oh, seriously.
The reason why is because I got Big Show's daddy.
Well. Okay, all right. Well, actually, I like the gimmick he did with Al Snow and Pepper.
That's great, Pepper.
Pepper. And so somewhere, Mr. Fuji's going, "Oh, son of a bitch,"
They're up there, dude. They're up there right now in wrestlers heaven, and Fuji's asked him, and he's like, Boss Man's like, "Oh, goddamn, I thought it was a good idea."
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck were you thinking, Bossman son? Hey, talk to Vince.
Talk to Vince. I won't be able to. He'll be down there.
Yeah, exactly. I can't talk to Vince. He go to hell. Well, upon Vince's own request, because remember that interview? When I die, I hope I go straight to hell. I'm like,
when he gets there, you think they'll actually have a cell?
Oh, I love it. Vince is the kind of guy that when he gets to hell, he kicked the devil in the balls just upon arriving,
No, when he gets to hell, they're gonna put him in a cell with all the old territory.
There you go. Yeah. Billy Wolf would be rolling up his sleeves, going, "Oh, we've been waiting for you, fucker."
I got confused. I thought you were talking about Billy White Wolf for a second.
Yeah, no, not Billy White Wolf. Billy Wolf.
Yeah. No, I know. I was thinking like, Admiral Casey.
No.
I was like, what the fuck? What did he do?
Yeah, Sheik Adnan's down there too. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I'll never forget watching him on when they brought him in as, what was his name, General
Adnan.
Adnan, yeah, General Adnan. And I'm going, holy shit, Dad! Look, they brought in Sheik Adnan. He goes, oh my God, that is him, isn't it? I said, yeah. Because, I mean, there's no denying who the Sheik is. I mean, Sheik's going to be Sheik no matter what gimmick it is. You could dress the Sheik as the Pope. He's going to be the
Sheik.
Pope.
No, Sheik was Colonel Mustafa.
Yeah, but you're going to know who he is. You're going to know it's the Iron Sheik no matter what. See,
I didn't like that. I didn't like that they were like, oh, this is Colonel Mustafa. No, fuck you. This is Iron Sheik.
I hated the WWF for doing that. They always did that. They'd bring in a worker like, say, Cactus Jack. I knew him as Cactus Jack, from... watching him in WCW and, of course, GWF and all that. And they're bringing him in as Mankind. Of course, at the time you didn't know that it was Mankind. It was Mick's idea, or he helped make the idea happen. It was, you didn't know that. All you knew as a mark was like, they're changing their names. What the fuck? It's like Mike Rotunda became IRS, and Steve Kern became the Skinner. And you had all these other different names and gimmicks, and it's like Doink the Clown. And I don't know.
It's exactly how I feel with the indie guys now, where Chris Hero's Cassius Ohno.
Exactly the same shit.
And it took me a while to get convinced of the name Daniel Bryan. To me, he was always American Dragon.
Danielson. Yep.
American Dragon. Or like when they brought in Colt Cabana and they're calling him, what the fuck, Scotty Goldman.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is someone?
Scotty Goldman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, his real name's Scott Colton.
Right.
I'm trying to think what else. Seth Rollins, I like that name over Tyler Black, so I kind of let that slide. Dean Ambrose, I wasn't sold on that. He was always John Moxley to me.
Right.
So, so that's just to name a few.
Well, it's because they want to control your name. That's the only reason that they changed it.
But it still doesn't make sense, because you're bringing in Adam Cole from the Bullet Club and you're keeping his name.
That's because Triple H has probably had some control over that.
Well, that was probably the one. Right.
But here's another fucking problem, though. At the same time you're bringing him in, you're bringing in another guy. I'm sure you guys never heard of an indie worker by the name of Biff Busick. Really stiff, really young. He's a small guy, really stiff, very like rugged looking. He's from like the Boston area. He worked in like CZW and PWG and all that shit. And they call him Oni Lorcan.
Oh wow.
Oni
Lorcan.
No, wait. Is his name? You said his last name is Busick?
Yeah. Well, Biff Busick.
Well, that could be because they're trying to distance themselves from a gimmick they had previously in the WWE called Big Bully Busick.
Yeah, that gimmick was...
Do you remember that guy?
Of course I do.
Yeah, he was... Dude, you almost sounded like Balky Bartakamus just now going, of course I do, don't be ridiculous.
But see, his name, I don't know why they just couldn't even take... If they didn't want to do that, couldn't just took his real name. His real name is Christopher Gerard. So, they could have...
They want to have ownership of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you couldn't find a better name? You couldn't find a better name?
They don't care. They could name you fucking shit bag, and they wouldn't care. They want to have control of your name. They don't care what it is.
All they care
if you
about
get over,
you
get over. But if you have a stupid name, they don't care. They need jobbers.
That's true.
They have their chosen guys.
I agree with that. They do need jobbers.
And speaking of problems in the WWE, Eric, can you kindly tell us of your experiences with the new game?
I want to get into this so bad.
Yeah, when I read this yesterday in the synopsis, I'm like, oh, I've got to hear this because I know how much you love these.
Before I do, I want to know. I gotta know. Do you want me to talk about this, or do you want to? Or after I talk about this, we gotta talk about Jim Cornette and Santino. More so, Earl's got to talk about it.
Oh, okay. Let's do the video game thing because fucking Santino. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna send you guys some pictures of like some screenshots I took, so you guys can get an idea. of like
Okay.
the text, because like the way the video game works now is the story mode. There's no voiceover. It's all strictly text, which people have a problem with. I'm okay because there's more creativity you can do with it. At least like they can say your name. It's not like voice captor like Triple H going, "Hello, superstar." So, but anyway, so the story mode starts out where like you're in NXT, you're training with like Prince Albert, Matt Bloom, and all this shit. You get in NXT, you win the belt, and then they tell you as your champion, Triple H will come up to you backstage in NXT and go, "Oh hey, we need you up at Raw," and you'd say, "Oh well, I would prefer SmackDown or whatever." Like, "No, we need you up on Raw. Guys are injured. We need you up there." So you go to Raw, and as soon as you get there, like, "Okay, well this week we need you to lose to Big Show." We need you to lose to Big Show is the exact
Are you
words.
serious?
Yeah, so I was like, "Fuck you, I'm not eating a pin," so I just got myself DQ'd. Then the next week, they're like, "Okay, we need you now to lose to Mark Henry." And the specific words were, "We need you to put Mark Henry over."
What?
This is a video game. This is a video game. We need you to put Mark Henry over.
Oh my god.
So, I get DQ'd. Next week, we need you to put Braun Strowman over. And meanwhile, the video game gives you options to where, like, you could choose your text. You could either say, "Oh, no problem," "Oh, this," "Oh, that." I chose, wait, this third time's the charm. I want to fucking, I don't want to look like a loser. And then, like, I went to Triple H's office, and I'm like, it actually says, "I don't want to be a jobber. I am not a scripted loser." And then meanwhile, you run into guys like Sheamus and Miz and whoever the fuck backstage, and they're telling you, you want to get over you want to get over in this company, you gotta kind of toe the company line. Yeah.
Good God.
What the fuck is wrong with them? Like, I don't understand. WWE, this is like honestly, this is like a junkie saying, "Yeah, I shoot up at least 2 or 3 times a day, but I'm still gonna do it anyway." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's
WWE
what is the point of a fighting game if you're saying, "Oh yeah, it's scripted and it's fake," even in the video game?
Yeah, I'm playing a video
what was the
game
point?
to get suspension of disbelief. I don't be fucking reminded in a video game that was how much money? That we're scripted. This is scripted shit. What the fuck is wrong with the people that wrote this?
To me, it doesn't make sense because you're playing the game and then you're kind of in a situation where they're telling you it's scripted, but then what's the point of the game? Like, if you play the game and you beat people in the game,
yeah.
then it's the whole point of the game is, oh, what if this was real? What if this wasn't scripted? You're playing to win.
Yeah. And then Triple H is telling you you could read the pictures I sent you guys.
Yeah, these are incredible. This is unbelievable. I'm looking at it and I'm still going, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, he's saying, "I'll tell you what to do. You won't even sit on the bench. I'll make you a ref. I'll make you an announcer."
Wait, because you said that to him?
Yeah, and it'll say,
"I don't want to be a scripted."
and he's saying, "Good job the last 2 weeks. I'm proud of you. You performed perfectly." Like, what the fuck? Of course, though, I will say, on the flip side, this doesn't continue because, like, because what happens is, like, you talk to Daniel Bryan, who's the GM for SmackDown, and then he'll say, "Oh, I feel bad for you. I'm sorry that you're going through this." And he goes, "You know what you should do? You should win your match tonight." And then you win it, and then Triple H is pissed off. He's like, "I told you to do this and do that." And he's like, "You know what? Get out of my office. Get out. You're fired." And then you go to Bryan, and Bryan's like, "All right, welcome to SmackDown." So they kind of make it sound like, oh, Raw is a piece of shit, and like SmackDown's like the land of opportunity.
There are other ways to do that.
Yeah, I know.
They should have seriously rethought this idea.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I understand that exposing the business is something that they don't mind doing, but this isn't just exposing the business. This is all out. This is like war on themselves, man. I mean, this is exactly what that is. They're just more or less.
You know what it kind of made me think?
I don't know what to think. This is terrible.
It kind of made me think like they're kind of doing this for all the of course we all kind of know the business to a degree. Well, you and I more so because we're around it. Pat, reads a lot about it and all that stuff. But like the people that like never ever have even like took a look outside their house, but like swear, oh yeah, I know everything about wrestling because I watched all these tapes from like 1987.
Oh, yes.
Like they are probably looking at those people and going, oh, we're gonna get them, we're gonna make them feel special, and then like the people like playing this are like mark out, oh my god, they're using the word jobber, oh my god, they're using the word, like, no, that's not a good thing. That's
not a good thing.
No, but it's like the first time in a WWE game that they've ever done something like this. Usually, it's like it's still scripted. Like it's still like they still have kayfabe. They're like still using kayfabe as like the general rule. And in video games, that's supposed to be how it is. Like even games like me and Eric joke about it, like the Wrestle Empire games. Mm-hmm. When they talk about someone throwing a match, not actually jobbing out to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, like it isn't like full on like, oh yeah, you're losing now because it's scripted. Then what the fuck is the point of the game?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean the point of a video game is to win it. So if you're going out there and this is what's happening to you, then this is completely unacceptable. In my opinion, I don't think it's even remotely. Oh, this is not okay. This is not okay. This is something that I really don't like at all. Period.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking. I was really fucking agitated.
And let me ask you this, Eric: how much did you pay for this game, if you don't mind my asking? I know it's none of my business, but I am curious.
Well, to be completely blunt, out of it being really like out of the generosity and all of that, my pops actually got it for me as a very, very early Christmas present, and he reminded me of that. So so I was like, yeah, no problem.
Okay. Well, retail this goes for what?
Retail
$60.
$60. Okay.
But that's that's just the disc, right? If you want the extra content, which is like downloadable content, like you get like...
You want new skins, you want new characters, you're gonna have to shell out another like $10, $20.
No, try like 30.
I was gonna say that's when you're getting over into the $100 range.
But I will say this. Although because he got the deluxe edition, and although it's the deluxe edition, I think is like 80 or 90. He didn't pay that. I will say that he did get a break on the game.
Right.
I don't know if I should kayfabe it or not, but all right. You know what? Nah.
No. Don't sugarcoat anything. Go ahead.
I think it's pretty much common knowledge. So basically, at Best Buy. He got into Best Buy, and Best Buy is where basically, if you have like a game membership, you can get the stuff for like a discounted price. So he got it for $70.
Okay.
Which I don't think that's that bad. I think that's alright. I mean, $10, basically paying $10 for all the extra shit. Yeah, that's fine.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Anyway, the fact is, this thing was over $50, and to be honest with you, in my opinion, anything over $5 is overpaying for something like this. I mean, when I was a kid, And the first WrestleMania game, not the first wrestling game for Nintendo, but I'm talking about the first WWF WrestleMania came out. Man, I played that game I don't know how long, and I wore it out. And it took me forever to beat it. See, back then, games were meant to be hard. You know, you were supposed to get your money's worth. And it took me a while. I don't know how long, but when I finally defeated defeated Andre the Giant and got the WWF title, you felt like you accomplished something. You know, you felt good. This is not that. This is you're being told to go out there and lay down for a fucking video game. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake, dude!
But
oh my God!
It's the weird
Help me, Pat! I can't even talk.
It's the weird cult-like mentality of WWE, and a lot of people have said that like even they're doing it in the video games, where they have this weird situation, and workers have said this for years. You go to work for WWE, and you're not working for WWE. They want that to be your entire life. They want you to be indoctrinated to thinking how Vince wants you to think, and seeing the world as how Vince wants to see it. Well, you start to have any type of thoughts in your head that you're going to be somebody great. That's when they kick you to the fucking curb. And the whole reason that they do a lot of this shit, where they torture people, where they have them on top of the world, like they're NXT champion, and suddenly they go down to they're a jobber basically for like the next like 4 months, and then they finally give them something to do. It's a way to keep them in line. That's numerous people have said it. Once they leave the company, they say, "Look, he'll come up to us and he'll treat us like shit. Like when we first get there, we're treated pretty okay. Then something happens, we get treated like shit. Then he doesn't want to be bothered with us. But then anytime we get any type of praise, then it becomes, and he indoctrinates any person that goes into the company into becoming somebody who's like a corporate stooge. You're basically expected to conform and basically almost become like it's basically like a fucking they said like the corporate structure is not like a wrestling company. It's more modeled after a fucking cult, like a Scientology or the Hare Krishnas or the Jehovah's Witnesses. It's all meant to be a cult-like atmosphere, so you perform the way they want you to perform, and you don't think about leaving. That's why so many people are leaving now. It's because they can't fucking take it anymore.
Good fucking segue. Right. So with that,
one more thing on that. Remember in the first Tough Enough? Think back to the very first Tough Enough when the people were just working out with like weights and shit, and Tori, the girl with the voice like a tuba, would tell them, you can work out the way you want to, but we want you to work out the WWE way.
Yep.
You know, so even the way they work out with their bodies is controlled. So
hey man, to quote Jim Cornette, well, of course we'll get into him, but like to quote fucking Jim Cornette, remember he said that they want you to have a certain type of Snapple to sell at the stands in fucking OVW. But
anyway,
yeah.
Segue, guys are leaving.
Yeah, all right. So within a matter of a week, one person got fired. We'll bring him up, of course, and then two people on their own merit quit. So the person that got fired was I don't know if you know the name Earl's Jimmy Jacobs, the indie guy. He was he's pretty much like a 15-year veteran or whatever. Fucking solid talker. He had a group in Ring of Honor 10 years ago called Age of the Fall. They were like a gothic group, kind of similar like Raven's Flock.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Tyler Black, a.k.a. Seth Rollins, was like the shining star out of that thing. So Jimmy Jacobs was a writer for WWE for a couple of years. He actually was the one that came up with the list of Jericho. That was his big thing.
Wow.
That was the big idea.
All the good ideas.
Oh, he came up with all the good ideas. Yeah, the face of America for Kevin Owens, everything that worked. So he got fired. Well, I don't think this is the exact reason. I think it was like this was leading up to it, and they finally were like, okay, we got to get rid of this guy. Was that he took a picture with his friends, the Bullet Club, the Young Bucks, Cody, etc. But he wrote hashtag Bullet Club Invasion. And then with that, they were like, okay, you're fired. Which, people are like, oh, how can you fire someone over a picture? And unfortunately, I think it was they wanted him out. I think they wanted him out. Because that, that WWE, they look for a reason to get rid of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once you're on their shit list, anything goes.
Yeah. And then, so we had him. Now the next one, which is actually over the video game, supposedly, Neville flat out walked out of Raw last week because his royalty check for the video game was completely trimmed down to what it was the previous years. Him and all the cruiserweights got like a flat fee. I don't know how much a flat fee would be for a video game royalty check, but he got that, and then he pretty much just left because he was supposed to do a match against Enzo last week on Raw in like a lumberjack match or whatever, and they took him out of it. Well, I mean, not they took him out of it, but like they had to put Kalisto in there because Neville just walked out on television. Right? Yeah, then they gave Kalisto the belt and all that shit. But Neville, so Neville's gone, and then apparently this week, Nia Jax left television as well.
Wow.
They're bleeding talent, and you know what's happening? Cody's the one that's kind of set this entire thing in motion.
Yeah.
There's been reports that numerous people in WWE are talking to Cody Rhodes to see how to get out of their contract and how to survive in the Indies. And to be honest, Cody might end up being. I don't know if there was like some kind of like prophecy of some sort that years and years ago, like in the 80s, some soothsayer said, "Beware of the Rhodes family; they will be the end of your company." There's been some kind of animosity between McMahon's and the Rhodes for decades, and it's actually kind of kicked off. He might actually end up being the kind of big dagger in the back of WWE. Because everyone's fucking leaving.
I have to do this. Now you see, baby, back in 1990, Daddy, when Vince McMahon put me in them polka dots, I said, I'm going to take lemons and make lemonade. Sweet lemonade. So then I brought in my other son, who became a transvestite, if you will, one of them transistors. He come in and he got over too. Now my youngest son, Cody, he goes through all kinds of shit, becomes Stardust, and then he leaves the company, and now Vince Daddy, you're going to lose your company, baby, because it's living on the end of a lightning bolt, because, woo, that's funky. That's the American dream, if you will.
Amen. I gotta add music to that later.
Yes, seriously. You're going to have some hard times, Vince McMahon. You remember the hard times speech, Vince McMahon. They're going to kick you to the curb, Daddy, and you won't even get a gold watch. Sorry. Go ahead.
you know what, though? Pat, I agree with you, but I love how WWE...
Yeah, I do.
But I love how WWE is still like, oh, Dusty was a mentor to NXT kids, and we're gonna give him the Dusty Classic trophy every year, and then Cody comes out and he's like, yeah, this is all bullshit.
Yeah, that's a bunch of shit, and if you really want to leave the company, here's how you do it. So it's
Well,
First of all,
his legacy was
first,
pissed on years and years ago.
oh god,
The guy, they're only doing the Starcade now is because they want to screw over WrestleCade. He even mentioned that when that was first announced, he said, "Okay, you're doing Starcade, but none of the roads are on the card. You don't have." He said, "You don't have Goldie on the card," and then that's when they did like the kind of like a. They did the whole dick move and they're like, oh yeah, when you come back too, and you can do a tag team with him.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't even be on the fucking main event.
That wouldn't be, yeah.
That would just be like probably the curtain jerker.
Right. Well, let me ask you this: will it be possible? Because I mean, I don't know. Do you think Flair would show up? Do you think maybe Flair?
Flair's probably going to be there. Flair's probably not going to wrestle. He's probably going to be like the MC or the announcer. Or
they better do something like that because Flair and Rhodes started Starcade. You know, they could even dig up Sting.
It's not Starcade though. It's corporate. Right. It's basically ECW. ECW
I'm just saying
when they did the stupid the revival of it when it was on Sci-Fi. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
WWE does not know how to.
It's not even that, dude.
Else.
It's not even that, dude. I'm telling you right now. All it is, they're calling it Starcade, but all it is, it's gonna be a WWE ring. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna be on television. It's not gonna be on the network. It's a house show. They're just calling it that. They're just calling it that because it's in Greensboro and because WrestleCade's right there. And WWE, we have to own the world. That's their new catchphrase. We're WWE, we have to own the world.
Well, you know what?
Well, no, they don't want the world. They have a universe.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. One of my favorite Paul Heyman quotes on the MMA podcast a few years back was, Paul Heyman says Vince McMahon does not like the universe, so therefore he created his own.
He created his own. That's exactly what he said. Yes, he did. Yes, he most certainly did. God darn, I just, guys, I don't get it.
He's just a crazy old bastard, and you know what?
Yeah.
He's a crazy old bastard, and he's already on the track of ruining his company, because he doesn't know how to leave well enough alone, and enough people are getting annoyed with like the stupid bullshit in his company, and they're leaving, and people are leaving, and Eric can tell you. Attendance is down. Everything is down.
Oh, dude, you gotta see the pictures. Ooh, Raw and SmackDown.
You got douchebag McFuckface that's saying, "Oh, Cody Rhodes, you're not the biggest draw in the world. I am." What are you fucking drawing? No one's coming to the stadiums. No one's coming to watch you. No one's coming to watch Raw or SmackDown. What are you talking about? If anyone is a bigger draw, it probably is Cody. He's actually a legitimate champion.
Yeah, people are marking out for the Shield, but, I mean, they're not paying to see the Shield.
Wow.
Like, no one pays for his merch. I've never seen any...
Dude, I'm telling you right now, the only thing they are gonna buy, they will buy those Shield shirts. I guarantee it.
I actually have not seen in months. I have not seen I work in New York. I see people going by in wrestling shirts. All of them Bullet Club. Every single one.
Yeah, but I'm seeing it down here too, bro. I'm seeing it down here.
I agree with you guys.
In the past 6 months, I have not seen a WWE shirt.
I was at
other than a yes. That was it.
As an impromptu thing, it was totally impromptu. If it wasn't, of course, I would have asked fucking Pat to come with me or anyone else, obviously. But I was at Guns N' Roses last week, last minute thing.
By the way, thank you for that.
Oh, the videos? You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Even have the words, man. I needed that. That came to me, and you sent that to me at a time when I really needed it the most, and I really could not thank you enough.
Not a problem. Again, would have been cool if you were there, but it's the least.
I know. It was the next best thing.
Now, I will say, I didn't see it directly, but friends of mine that worked the show told me that people were wearing Bullet Club stuff to Guns N' Roses. They were wearing Bullet Club hoodies and T-shirts and all that. But what's funny about this was Triple H and Stephanie were randomly there.
Oh, wow.
Watching the show. They were randomly there. But yet, no one... And if there were wrestling fans, they weren't wearing WWE shit.
Isn't that something?
They're not, because there's no one there. There's no one there for people to like. And every person that anyone likes in the company gets bowled over. We've seen this happen to Braun Strowman. We've seen it happen to Nakamura. AJ's in the mid card for some fucking for a cup of coffee.
That makes no sense. He should be on top of the world.
He should be champion. He should still be champion. He should have never lost the belt. I guess Cena needed to get to 16, but then you give it to Bray and then to Orton and then you basically had like 5 or 6 title changes in the past year. That's a fucking worthless belt then. You know how many title changes has there been in the past year or 2 years for New Japan or Ring of Honor? There's been maybe 1 title change for Ring of Honor, and there's been none for New Japan for the past 2 years.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean now, like this week coming up, as of the end of this week, Okada will officially beat the longest record for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. The record has been for a couple of years of Hashimoto of 489 days.
Mm-hmm.
And as of we say now, Okada is at 480. I want to say Sunday he was at 480. All right, so he's at 485. Sunday he was at 482. So he's at 485 right now. And they're going to keep this belt on him till January 4th, which, as we all know, is Wrestle Kingdom.
And Naito. Probably Naito is going to win.
Yeah, Tetsuya Naito is probably going to win the belt. But yeah.
I would be surprised if he lost there, though. But look at even Ring of Honor. You've had what? Since last year, you had you've had maybe 3 or 4 last year so it's been almost 6 months since Cody won it. So it's been at least 6 months of Cody. Then before that, it was like what 4 or 5 months with Christopher Daniels.
Yep.
And then you had
before that was like wasn't it? Who the fuck did
it was?
Was it Jay Lethal? Was it Jay Lethal? They got the belt.
No, it wasn't Jay Lethal. I think it was Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, yeah, Adam
Cole. Then you had a relatively short reign with Kyle O'Reilly, but it's still less fucking title changes than freaking WWE. WWE, you all you need to do is suck off Vince one time and you get a belt.
Yeah, but to keep that belt, you gotta do it more than once.
Yeah. So that's probably what Jinder's been doing.
Oh, I love that segue, because now they made it official last night. There was rumors going around the past week. They made it official. Jinder comes out and challenges Brock to champ versus champ in Survivor Series non-title.
He wins.
Oh, of course it's non-title because Brock's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, with that,
Brock's gonna go through him like a hot knife through butter.
We've been bitching about Brock, but when it comes down to that, I'm gonna be fucking rooting for him to fucking shoot.
Damn straight.
Oh, Brock breaks his fucking neck.
Oh God, please. And something else, we're talking about, what people do to Vince or whatnot. Some of the guys Vince couldn't punk. Jinder is one of those guys that Vince could punk. You could just tell.
Yeah, he's just... You know what he looks like? Eric, you've seen SpongeBob, right?
Of course.
Remember the episode where he had the inflatable arms?
Yeah, okay.
And he just keeps like blowing them up to like make himself look stronger. That's what Jinder Mahal is. He has inflatable arms.
Oh, I'm doing a funny picture now.
Oh, you have to. You have. Yeah,
like,
but
he's basically SpongeBob. He's a former jobber that just got like he inflated himself a little bit, and he doesn't look any more threatening. He's probably one of the fucking dumbest looking finishers that I've ever seen in WWE.
His finisher, I don't know if you've seen it. It's well, you did want SummerSlam, but it was it's pretty much the million. It's a Cobra Clutch into a slam. It's a Cobra Clutch slam.
Oh, a slam?
Yeah, it's $1 million dream into a slam, and that's his finish. They call it the Colossus.
You don't have to turn that into a slam. It's good enough as it is. See, this is what I'm talking about.
But dude, what
are they doing to my business?
But that is not a move. That is not a move, in my opinion, that like I would see like
puts people away.
Yeah, it puts people away. That's a move I would see on Sunday Night Heat. This guy works like a guy that you would see on Sunday Night Heat. He does not look like
it's all he's ever known, bro. I mean, he's never been anything.
He's cookie cutter. Like people at my job are like fucking keep giving me shit. They're like, oh, how are you not liking Jinder? I'm like, how the fuck are you like even like involved? How are you like even like how the fuck do you even like try to defend this guy? They're like, oh, he's a heel. I'm like, he's fucking cookie cutter. Everything that he's done, like, let's just dissect this guy's heel run for a second, okay? All right, what? How is he getting heat? All right, first off, he has two skinny guys with him, right? That bump for him. Who has had that in like the past 2 years? A guy by the name of Seth Rollins, who had J&J Security,
and that didn't get him over.
Yeah,
not even close.
All he did was,
everyone hated Rollins' run. Everyone hated Rollins' run.
All that was recycled Edge storylines.
Yeah.
So that's one. That's the second thing. Next thing, he comes out tan and jacked. Who has done that in the past couple years? Del Rio, Batista. I have money and wealth. Who has done that? Del Rio, JBL. I don't know, the $1 Million Man.
You know what he is though? He's basically, remember when they were trying to do the Muhammad Hassan?
My next point. Oh, you guys are xenophobic. Who is throwing around the xenophobic word? Muhammad Hassan, even Zeb Coulter was doing it. There's nothing original. And my problem with WWE keeping fucking all these guys on contract or even bringing certain people back is they're bringing back guys that are not original. They're just going to go to them all. He's a yes boss. That's what he is. He's a yes boss. Yes boss. Okay boss. Yeah. I mean, not for nothing. You throw the belt on a guy that was fucking in 3MB. Of course he's going to say yes. A lot of people would. The guy personally, I guess you can't blame him. Doesn't mean he's any fucking good.
The problem is you had the makings of a good I ended up liking what they're doing with Kevin Owens and Shane, but you had the makings of a really good foreign heel gimmick where it's this Canadian asshole who's trying to be more American than the American. That's something that's never been done. That's never been done. It was an interesting gimmick. Kevin Owens is a fantastic fucking heel. He can work in the ring. You have makings between him and AJ or Shane, a fucking huge, amazing feud.
Yeah.
He should have been champion. 10-1. AJ, him, money. It's fucking money. Oh my god.
Earl's look.
Love it.
Earl's just like, yeah, that's accurate.
That is so good. That is so right. There is absolutely, that's perfect. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. That's fantastic. You sir have made my day. So, because oh my God, yeah. Mm-hmm. I love the shit-eating grin on it. The smile is what gets it. I mean, he's like, "That's right, that's me." You know.
Yep. It's on YouTube for everyone that can see it.
That is me, my friend. Okay. Wow. So now that we've got that out of the way.
Yes.
There was a time when I slapped Santino 17 times.
Hey, can we? I want to try to. The audio's not the greatest, but I'm going to try to play it anyway.
Oh my God. Yes.
So the story here.
Wait. No matter what happens in my life, if I'm having a shitty day, or if I need to laugh, I put that on, and without doubt, it makes me laugh every single time. And I actually got the B side of that story from the Boogeyman.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, and so yes, go ahead.
Right. So okay.
I've been waiting for this.
All right. So there was some really random, unorthodox convention with a bunch of wrestlers a few weeks ago in Detroit, and there was nothing the notable names were these two. So Santino goes up to Jim Cornette, just tries to start shit. Jim Cornette pretty much says things along the lines of, don't quote me word for word, but this is pretty much the general idea here is, there's no conversation to be had. You know, you were jabroni in my business. I'm not, you don't belong in my business. There's no conversation to be had. I don't want to speak to you. And meanwhile, Santino, in the video, Santino's trying to, get in his face and, keep, trying to talk to him. And he's, pretty much trying to antagonize Cornette. So, I'm going to try to play a little of this audio here. And, okay, fucking pop-up. Advertisement, I mean. But yeah, basically, Santino pretty much tries to, keep the conversation and keep the fucking... He's trying to rile Cornette up, basically.
Yeah, yes. And what happened was I knew about this. Jimmy was just like, look, get away from me. I've got nothing to say to you. We have nothing to say to each other. But Santino would not leave it alone.
All right, and then here we have this, and I'm going to try to raise the audio up, because there's a word that... Joey Numbers from Wrestling Soup brought this up last week, and I didn't catch on to this. I want you to hear a word that begins with the letter R that he calls Jim Cornette. And okay. I'm going to play this for you right now.
I've never had respect for you to begin with. You were sitting there waiting. You don't need to settle in, motherfucker. We got witnesses around here, and I ain't going to fight with you. Get the fuck out of my way. No, you did it the wrong way. When you shot him, yes, you're a goddamn show. Yeah, you're my job. You became a show. There's a line with I do the job. Because you couldn't do anything else. Because you were a fucking show. You know that. Get the fuck away from me. I'm trying to walk away from you. Hey, look at this guy. He's trying to start a fight with me, and I'm trying to walk away from you. Motherfucker, I don't have a goddamn thing to say.
Alright, I don't know. I gotta find the action. Alright,
I'll look at the clip later.
I don't know what the there's an actual audio clip where you could hear Santino call him a rapist motherfucker.
Oh my God.
And Jim Cornette's just like, what? And it's you would think it's racist. You would think he probably meant to say racist, but he flat out called him a rapist.
Rapist.
And I just can't help to think, wow,
Jim Cornette.
I can't help but to think, if that's true with Jim Cornette, wouldn't there be more audio? Wouldn't it be something more documented about that? Or if supposedly Santino has proof, which he claims to have, wouldn't that shit been leaked out years ago?
Rumors about Jim. I mean, I've heard rumors about Jim Cornette in that way, something, but I don't really want to get into it because I don't want to slander the man's name. But I mean, the boys all have their quirks. Some are a little stranger than others, and oh man, tell you what, I'm gonna type this to you, and then you tell me if you want me to. Okay.
Oh yeah. Type it.
Because I really don't want to say anything about Jim because I really love Jim Cornette.
We're all pretty big Jim Cornette fans here.
Okay.
Yeah, let's all be blunt about that. Also, too, quite honestly,
There you go.
All right. When you're waiting for your message here. Well, Earls, you do know last year we kind of made a joke about that, right? We kind of made a joke and we didn't know if it was real or not.
You should get it in a second.
All right.
Well, that's true.
We can address it. We can address it because
we didn't know if it was real or not. But I mean,
so he's Richard Gere.
There's a rumor.
It's gone.
There's a rumor that me and a year ago, right? Me and Earls had an episode where we were talking about the Virgil thing, where Virgil had his shit, where like he was gonna pay people to like bang his wife and shit and all this stuff.
About a year ago.
And like while he eats snacks or whatever and all that shit.
Wife?
Yeah, believe it or not, but yeah,
Really?
Yep. So.
Yeah.
What the fuck does she look like?
I don't want to know. So anyway, he was gonna pay. Can we stay on topic here? Look it up. So anyway, he basically is trying to pay people or whatever, to do this, and we were like, me and Earls were making a joke on like who would do it or whatever, and we were like making like stupid impersonations and references. So Earls did one of Jim Cornette talking about woodland creatures.
Right.
So we already made references over a year ago, but the thing with that is, we kind of don't believe it, but it is a rumor that Jim Cornette likes woodland creatures where the sun don't shine. So it's all bullshit. It's all rumored. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what to believe in the wrestling business.
It's something that I've heard about for years, but.
But I mean, if that's what Santino's referring to, again, he's not from that time period. If anything.
But going back into what we were talking about earlier, if that's what he's saying too, yeah. No, he's not. So that's something that he heard.
But if he said if Santino said flat out racist, and I don't like Santino, the very least. I've been vocal. I can't stand that fucking guy. He to me was what killed. He's to me what was bringing back the cartoon aspect of wrestling. Him and Hornswoggle were the two guys that were bringing back the Doink the Clown and the dentist and the Dumpster Drozy period of wrestling. That's what those guys represented to me. So I don't fucking like the guy at all.
Yeah.
But I will say, if he meant the word racist towards Jim Cornette, then I would probably say, okay, yeah, I could kind of see that. As a Jim Cornette fan, but also as a human being that understands how Jim Cornette thinks, yeah, I could kind of... I would think is more reasonable and understandable than rapist. But, again, Santino also loves to fucking, stumble and, say the wrong things because he's a fucking moron, so... I'm going to lean more towards maybe he meant to say racist.
I agree with you. I totally agree with that. I don't think that he meant to say rapist, because of all the people that I've heard that have pulled that kind of shit in the business, I've never heard Cornette's name with that. I've never even heard him pull anything racist, because Cornette's always been about the business. He don't give a fuck what color you are. He don't give a fuck what sex you are. Cornette knows the business, and you know, and from what I did hear of what he was saying, you were a jobber, you were a joke, you don't belong in the business. He's right, because Santino was horrible, man. I remember the night that I was actually having a sleep study done. For the sleep apnea, and I was at the hospital, and they had wrestling on the television, and it was over in Italy, and it was the night that he beat Umaga for the Intercontinental belt.
Yes, I remember that clear as day.
Remember that? And I'm going, oh wow, they actually sent this guy all the way to Italy for this thing? Okay. Oh, he's Italian. Okay, well, all right. Oh, Marella. Oh, okay, I see where they got the name. And that's where they got the damn name, was out of memory of Gorilla. But still, I'm just like, this is, okay, whatever, new guy, Intercontinental Champion first, not of the right shot out of the gate. I wonder what he did to get that, and now we know that was his reward for getting Cornette fired.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it was just happenstance that they were having that show in Italy. So it all fell into place at once. It's like, well, since we're going to bring him in anyway, he got rid of a problem we didn't want. He's Italian. Oh, happy day. Let's go ahead and put him over in Italy for the belt, and that'll be his big thank you.
Which, no, for nothing. I don't care if you could have the fucking SWAT team come out and fucking tackle Umaga. The fact that they had Umaga, who's a fucking killing machine. This motherfucker was a savage. And he's losing to a scripted, at the time, fan? What the fucking fuck?
That was the other thing I couldn't understand. I was like, why are they burying Umaga?
I was 15 years old, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was watching that from the hospital bed I'm going, why are they burying Umaga? I mean, he was on top of the world. This guy, Umaga, had the potential, in my opinion, to have gone so far. He could have done better than I forget, was Yokozuna his cousin or brother?
No, I think cousin, because Eddie Fatu.
You know?
No, listen, Eddie.
I think it was his cousin.
Eddie Fatu, who was Umaga, is the brother of Rikishi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then they were cousins. All right, yeah. All right.
Now, had we known that a few months later they were going to give the world title to Khali, I would have just rathered them ship Umaga the SmackDown and then put the belt on him.
I would love to have seen a match, and I mean a knockdown, drag-out, full-on Samoan death match with him and Rikishi, because they'd have torn the freaking house down.
Yeah, which sucks, because at that time I think Rikishi went to TNA.
He was already gone, yeah.
Yeah, he was already out the door. But man, imagine those two, because they're brothers, they would have fucking killer feud.
I mean, even if they teamed them up, first have them fight and then team them up. But if they teamed them up, that would have completely overshadowed the Uso brothers, because a team like Rikishi and Umaga, just fantasy booking here, these guys would have been the most unstoppable tag team. However, people probably would have laughed them off as like another Samoan SWAT team. Something like that. But the SST was really hot back in the day.
And that's what kind of happened with the pairing. I felt like should have went really far. And, like, it kind of sucks that, like, everybody looks at Rikishi and they go, oh, yeah, too cool, the fat guy with the stink face and all that. I really wish that him and Haku had more of a run than they did.
Oh, yes.
Because what I loved that fucking tag team. Even me being a little kid who's like Steve Austin's around in The Rock. I saw, right. I knew who Haku was. I was a big Rikishi. I was a Rikishi fan after meeting him. Even when he was at Hale, he fucking run over Steve Austin. And I was 9 years old. And I still cheered Rikishi. I still cheered him. Because the reason why...
For The Rock.
The reason why was because I was still such a mark that I was like, Rikishi didn't do it. I know it was Triple H. I was like, I know it was Triple H.
Bless your heart.
So,
oh my God.
That was my reason. Dude, I gave myself every reason to not hate Rikishi.
And he confessed. Eric, I'll bet your whole world came to an end when Rikishi confessed, right?
No, I was still like, I don't believe it.
You were still at him.
Because everybody thought it was everyone thought it was him. Everybody thought it was Triple H. Even I did.
Yeah, well, yeah, but didn't they?
wow.
But didn't they pretty much admit that? Didn't they? Because didn't they do one night?
He
where,
was the one that gave the order to do it.
Oh my God! Guys. It doesn't matter. This was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, but it didn't make any fucking sense.
Hey,
like
Pat.
Why
I'm
would
not Pat.
fun-loving Rikishi be the one to fucking do that?
I'm about to get yelled.
Hey, Earls. Guess what?
What?
You say it's almost 20 years ago, right? What were we arguing about for, I don't know, since the start of this show, that in a month from now, it'll be 20 years of?
It didn't happen. It was a work. My ass, it was a work.
What were we arguing about for 20 years?
It was a fucking work.
It was a shoot.
It was a work. Oh my God. Okay, look. I just rewatched Wrestling with Shadows because it's on YouTube. Just to reconfirm that it was a work. Wrestling with Shadows is proof that it was a work.
It's a shoot.
Okay, it's a shoot. Whatever.
Man.
Moving on. Santino.
It's a work shoot.
Okay, yeah. It's a work. Moving on.
Let's see what else we got here on the synopsis. So Bubba Ray Dudley unfortunately is being forced to retire from pro wrestling.
What's the fuck you, Matt. What's the injury that it's making him have to give it up?
They did a 6-man tag on their recent Ring of Honor pay-per-view a few weeks ago. It was him and the Briscoe brothers against the Young Bucks and Adam Heyman Page for the ROH 6-man titles. And they did a swerve where Jay Briscoe turned on Bubba Ray. They got the tables in the ring. They went to set up the table to put one of the guys from the Bullet Club through it. And Jay Briscoe takes the table full force, knocks Bubba Ray Dudley in the head with it. So where Bubba Ray got a concussion, was hospitalized, and now is being forced to retire.
That's terrible.
So Jay Briscoe totally accidentally ended this guy's career.
Oh my God. Dude, you know he's got to feel like shit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, of course, he's got to keep kayfabe. He's got to, if they're gonna make this guy a heel.
Oh God.
I'm gonna get so much heat right now.
Why? Oh my God.
I'm gonna be like Trump. Oh, the Puerto Rico hurricane was a work.
Oh my God, yeah, and none of the other presidents ever called people from the military.
Hey, and with that, Earls, this is a meme that came out of Monday, and we're totally making this the thumbnail for the show.
Okay.
Just
right,
just look at your inbox there.
I'm waiting. Hold on, it's pulling up now. Yes, sir. Oh my God!
Isn't that the most accurate thing you've seen all week?
None of them are on their knee. Not one of them took a knee. That's fantastic. Because
they won't. Because they love me. Believe me.
Let me ask you a question. Because we know that of the relationship between Vince McMahon and Donald Trump, do you think that the boys are kind of being influenced politically too? Like Vince is kind of telling them to,
no,
where to because you think so? I mean,
guys like Sami Zayn are very, very vocal about how anti-Trump he is. Sami Zayn is one of those that is very vocal. I can't really
curious about that.
I can't really gather how many people are anti-Trump or Trump supporters. It's really, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I know there are people in the company that don't like Trump. But I think they try to minimize their political beliefs to keep their job because the boss's wife is part of the fucking Trump's administration. She's the administrator for the SBA.
Yep. How many times do you think Vince has been to the White House in the last, I don't know, 6 months?
Every week.
I would agree. I would think so too. I really would. Because
not just because he'll probably go. He'll probably be like, Trump, you gotta like get the phone or something, or Trump, you gotta like go to the bathroom or something, and or like he tries to make Trump leave just so he could sit in the chair for like 2 seconds.
Oh, he's in the chair going bum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum 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 bum.
God damn it!
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna tell everyone, it's not a nuke. It's a world destroyer. And I have to call it that. Because I'm president, goddammit.
Kim Jong-un, just the thought of you walking around makes me wanna vomit.
Just see, Kim Jong, I think to myself, Vince, what are you gonna do? He's gonna puke!
He's got a nuke! He's got a nuke! He's got a nuke!
Oh, it's tremendous.
Oh, man.
every single sports in the United States has to end with someone getting pinned. And it has to be Roman Reigns.
We're gonna bring back the XFL.
Supported by the WBF. Patterson, where are you? I'm under the desk, Mr. McMahon, as you told me.
I found Virgil's wife.
Oh God.
You understand that?
And the corner.
I've never seen her. I was afraid to look after hearing about this thing.
Is it him in a wig?
Yeah, show up. Yeah, let me see.
No. I actually found some.
I'm sure she's stunningly beautiful.
Or is it Bray Wyatt's sister Abigail?
That's ridiculous. Oh my God. When I...
Oh, it's Akeem the African Dream, everybody.
Akeem African Dream, baby. Oh my God.
And with that,
another guy, they took a good worker and gave him a shitty gimmick.
And with that.
No shitting you. I actually typed in Virgil wife, and that was one of the first things that came up.
Alright, I'm gonna see. Let's see. Virgil, WWE superstar, wife.
Ugh.
Okay, let's see here. The first thing that comes up is him sitting in the booth alone. It says Virgil Wrestling Superstar.
I tell you what, man. That was the saddest, most justified picture I've ever seen.
That's why
he's such an asshole. And and the funny thing is, even though all this bad shit has happened to him, he's never humbled.
But again, this is exactly why this will be my favorite thing that Mattel has done, because they got the joke. Just the fact that it comes. You know what? I would actually love to own that accessory. Fuck the figure.
The table.
No.
Wait, is that the poster or is that a table?
That's the poster.
Yeah, the poster. God. I would actually. I just want the.
That's the banner that he had made, bro.
They made a DVD of the. It's called The Legend of Virgil and the traveling table.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Oh man. You guys want to get into some TLC predictions?
Yep, I do. Yeah, and then I need to start wrapping up, guys.
Okay. Alright, so we got tables, ladders, and chairs this week, which it makes no sense why there's only one TLC match, but whatever. And there's not even...
are you serious? You're complaining that it doesn't make sense that there's only one TLC match at the TLC pay-per-view because of WWE and they don't know what the fuck they're doing?
Sorry, good point. Yeah, good point. Okay.
Last year they had a whole bunch of like themed matches last year.
Yeah, it was a bunch of gimmick matches, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was one, wasn't there one where it was like TLCS, where it was like tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs?
Wait, before we get into this, remember I said I had something that I wanted to discuss?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Okay, no, don't be sorry if it wasn't for...
I'm not.
I forgot. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I was talking to a friend of mine who's having a show here in December, and I was invited to come up, and I can set up a table and sell gimmicks, and he's going to try and bring a couple of legends. I don't want to say who in case it falls through, but I'll type it in here so you guys will see. But anyway,
yeah.
You know, and they're good guys. I mean, you know, especially the one. That's the first one. I forget the other guy. But anyway, so
okay.
He's concerned because there's another promotion that runs out of that shithole haunted house I used to work for.
Oh, Mega!
They run every week, and they're not drawing flies. I mean, their biggest crowd so far has been 15 people, and we got into a discussion. Not a bad discussion, but just a discussion about independent wrestling and crowd attendance. Now, from a promoter and a booker standpoint, 15 people, yes, that's an embarrassment. That's bad. But it's also that promoter and booker's fault because they didn't promote it properly. They didn't get the word out enough. And then sometimes shit happens. Even you could even put it on television and you still won't draw people. It is what it is. But from a worker standpoint, because I've been on both sides of this, but luckily I'll discuss that in a minute. But from a worker standpoint, 15 people, that's still 15 people you get to go out and wrestle in front of, you know? So it's good for a worker, but it's bad for a booker. Do you understand what I mean? Like bad attendance. And I tried to explain that to him, and I told him, I said, this is the old school mentality kicking in, where it doesn't matter if you're, from a worker standpoint, if you're out there in front of 8 people or 800 people or 8,000 people. You go out there and you put on the same match that give the same 100%, you're going to give because these people paid to see you. However, now you got to look at it from the side of a booker. The booker has to figure out how he's going to pay his guys, along with the building rental, along with, if you don't have your own ring, the ring rental, and other things that come up. Okay, because there's a million things that can come up. When I ran 2 successful shows when I promoted, okay, just 2. But luckily they both drew over 500 people. But this was also in the late 90s when wrestling was hot. So the first one was in 97, the second one was in 1999. And both of the buildings that I ran, I didn't just promote it, I put it everywhere. I put posters everywhere. I sold tickets. I beat the streets. I made sure people came to this show. Me and other people, but I was out there doing it too. So people try to rely on outlets like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and things like that to get the word out, but that's not enough. Don't get lazy with it. That's the problem with some promoters. Not the ones that I know, but there are some promoters that I have worked for where they have just relied on social media and other things like that to get the word out. You got to, put it on the radio. It might cost a little extra money, but what happens if you get that money back? Not to mention the fact, what if you're overzealous and you book a legend who wants his money not only up front, but he wants it all? You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't just want his money to show up, but he wants his money for gas. He wants his money for the hotel. He wants his money for food. And I believe me, you and I, Eric especially, have seen some of these quote unquote legend guys who have held up shows because they want more money.
I remember, as much as you and I like whatchamacallit, what the fuck, Billy Eadie. As much as we like Demolition, Billy Eadie, I hate to say this, and I'm not a fan.
No, he'll rape a show. Go ahead.
I'm not a fan, and I'm really not a big fan of Pat Buck. I've been vocal about this. The promoter for WrestlePro and the co-host of Ryback's podcast there. But I have seen that the Demolition Warstability no-show WrestlePro or PWS, whatever it's called at the fucking time, for Pat Buck because they wanted more money or they weren't promised money up front. So... I mean, that's one of the more recent instances I've known in like the past 5 years. But outside of that, I really, I do know, I have heard stories. I do know, like, hey, hell, there's two actually from my dad, from his stories. One was Tony Atlas.
Yeah.
And with the other one that that's pretty infamous was Sid Vicious because of he had to go play softball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he would no-show wrestling
really?
events. Yeah, because he owns a softball team, or owned a softball team.
Right, I knew about that.
Yeah, so anytime...
Hey, Pat, when Eric's done, I'm gonna tell you a funny Sid Vicious story. that actually happened. Go ahead.
All I'm just gonna end this with is my dad. Anytime we would see said go, I'm the ruler of the world. My dad go, yeah, you're the ruler of the softball field.
You know how intense. Okay, well, you guys know how intense Sid Vicious is when he's in character, right?
No, not really, but go ahead.
Well, you know what I mean. He's not there saying he's got half the brain that Kevin Nash has, but still. This was back when he first started off as Sid Vicious in WCW. He had just gotten away from being part of the Twin Towers. Remember that with Dan Spivey?
Yeah.
So he's on an independent show or, one of those things, because back then they could still do indies and still work their main job, which was WCW at the time. Well, NWA at the time.
Yeah.
Well, Sid goes in and he's talking to the promoter, and a couple of the guys that I knew were backstage that night. They were just starting out in the business too. But they all knew Sid, and from what I've heard about Sid backstage, he's actually a pretty easygoing cat. He's a little intense, but it is what it is. Anyway, so Sid decides he's going to have fun with the guy he's working because it was this guy's first night ever, and he's going to go in there against Sid Vicious. He was just going to job to Sid. Sid was going to powerbomb him. That was going to be the end of it. Well, Sid goes in. He's in full fucking character. Kicks in the freaking locker room door. Where's my opponent? Where's that dumb son of a bitch who thinks he can get in the ring with me? I'm gonna cripple that little motherfucker. And Sid all with the muscles bulging, and he's all fucking sweaty and scary looking. The guy threw up and left the business.
Well,
just out of a rib.
Oh, okay, good.
Just because Sid wanted to rib the guy. The guy literally threw up, got in his car in his gimmick, and drove away.
Well, my question to that,
and never came back ever.
My question to that is, were the cameras rolling?
No. This is all one of those word of mouth, backstage road stories that you hear.
Man.
But I've heard it from a couple of sources, so I know it's got to be, at least there's got to be some truth to it.
Well, I mean, hey, just as long as he didn't use the word skeptics. Then that gimmick would have died.
Right? That would have grown and died right there on the vine, baby.
Who was the guy who stabbed him?
Arn Anderson.
Yes, I remember that.
Was this before or after that happened?
This was years before.
Okay.
This may have been a couple of decades before. I mean, because that was... Let's see, he didn't get stabbed till what? Wasn't that like 2000? Or something like that? When did Arn stab him? Because Arn shanked that motherfucker. He wasn't playing.
I thought that was like around the time they were in the Four Horsemen.
Maybe it was the Horsemen. So yeah, it'd have been like 1991, 1990, somewhere in there.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, look it up, because I don't remember when that happened, but I know it did happen. And I know Arn shanked him like it was nothing. I mean, he just...
Oh my god.
Oh, scissor fight. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Scissor fight. Nine. Yes, I was right. October 1993. During the time of the Four Horsemen, I think. Right around the We're gonna get into the scissor fight, everybody.
Here we go. We're gonna snippy. Oh, he's bleeding. Well, shit.
Yeah, that's like when fucking.
That makes so much sense for why he says those retarded things. He lost too much blood to his fucking brain.
Oh, dude, I remember watching that when it was live on television when Sid was saying those hilarious things to Hall and Nash, and I'm going, does he not hear himself? You know, because I mean, I'm sitting there with Joey and we're watching it, and I looked at Joey. I said, can he not hear himself? And he's like, no, I guess not. You know.
Is there any skeptic? We're live, pal. There ain't any doubt.
Oh, God.
I love that, bro.
Can we do this over? We're live.
No, it's live, pal.
We're live, pal. Well, shit.
There ain't any doubt. I love that promo so much.
Oh, I know.
That and half the
that's another
brain
one
that you
just
do.
Makes me laugh. Huh?
You know, one of my other favorite Sid moments was the shit over Bill Goldberg where he we're like what lot is my car in 22? 22! Goldberg, where are you?
Yeah.
Because the reason why I like that, Botchamania did an outro one day with that video of Sid where he gets his car smashed, and they dub it in with the Flintstones, and the part where he yells Goldberg, you hear Wilma.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right, well let's get some predictions going on for the TLC. That's not really the TLC.
Yeah, the fucking Sunday Night Raw. That's might as well what they call these fucking things.
I couldn't agree more. Yes.
Yeah, because one thing I hate about pay-per-views now is, from the static approach, that they don't make actual sets anymore. It's the same old shit. Mm-hmm. It's the set that they use on Mondays and Tuesdays. So, but anyway.
Yeah.
Pre-show match.
Matt, love you.
All right, what'd you say?
Somebody actually started doing a drive-through as Sid Vicious, and just like kept showing people they were like.
Yeah, dude, I love Fizzy Pops. He does. This guy does Shawn Michaels. He does Kurt Angle. He did a broken Matt Hardy one. He did a Vince McMahon one that was hilarious. He dressed up as Vince McMahon and he'd go into the like a McDonald's drive-thru like, you're all fired. They're hilarious. He does a Steve Austin one. And he does like a Kurt Angle one. He does shit like, I'm gonna order this Big Mac with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. We got a Sasha Banks against Alicia Fox in a pre-show match. Sasha.
Wait, who against who?
Sasha
Alicia
Banks
Fox
against
and Sasha Banks.
Well, haven't we seen this match like 1,000 times before?
That's what I've heard this one a few times.
Alright, Sasha goes over next.
Yeah.
For the women's title, we got Alexa Bliss defending the belt against quote-unquote old Mickie James. I didn't know 38 was old. And for if she's an old lady, she's still fucking hot.
Yeah, she is. I want to see Mickie James go over. If they're building it like that, then that's what I'm thinking.
I want to, but the reason why I say it's probably gonna be a screw up finish. It probably win by like count out or whatever, and Alexa retains is because Mickie pinned clean Alexa on Monday in a tag match.
Oh, all right.
So you know
they're not gonna give it to her. They're just they kind of want to bury her. They're just using it as a build up for this pay-per-view.
Yep. So I think Alexa's gonna retain. If anything, they may drag this out another month or so. Next we got Emma going against the debuting Asuka. Come on now, Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka.
Let's see. Next, we got Enzo Amore against Kalisto for the Cruiserweight title. Kalisto is the Cruiserweight champion.
They're gonna flip flop the belt.
Yeah, hot potato. Enzo gets the belt back.
Yes.
Next we got another. I hate to say it, all of them are great workers, but this is a nothing exhibition match. Brian Kendrick and gentleman Jack Gallagher versus Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. The baby faces are Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann, so maybe the baby faces and
I'd say
heels.
maybe this would be like a clean baby face win.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because again in story the heels have been getting a lot of the shine.
Okay.
Next we got quote unquote Sister Abigail. Me and Pat were making a joke about this last week. Now supposedly Bray Wyatt is a transgender. Against Finn Balor, aka the Great Pumpkin. He now has pumpkin face paint.
Wow. Hey, you want to bury one of our two top talents? We'll just do it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna make Bray fucking Norman Bates, and then we're gonna turn Finn into Jack Skellington. That'll be fine.
Yeah. No. The worst part is no one's really gonna notice.
And with that, with that, we need to. His new theme needs to be "This is Halloween."
Yeah. Yeah. Not that it matters, but I'm thinking Bray Wyatt. I guess.
Really?
Dude, I'm just randomly picking here because I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a shot in the fucking dark. I mean,
I'm gonna go with Finn. Bray hasn't won a fucking pay-per-view in how long?
You know what's funny? Bray, they do get Bray wins, but it's like no one remembers them. No one.
That's what it is. Yeah.
None of us can remember his wins. All right, here you go. Here's a picture of what they both fucking look like.
God. Let me see this. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's just.
Let's kill any momentum that Finn Balor had, and let's make Bray Wyatt even a bigger fucking joke.
Yeah, why not?
So he's calling himself Sister Abigail, and the finisher is Sister Abigail.
Yep. Spoiler alert, the guy that has face paint wins.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. I changed my idea. Yeah. Finn Balor. Finn Balor better win because if not,
they're both.
What the hell is that? I mean,
they're both wearing face paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Finn Balor's is usually cool.
Yeah, Finn Balor usually has a good look to his. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, next up we got the Shield in full Shield attire versus in a 3-on-5 handicap TLC match against Cesaro, Sheamus, The Miz, Braun Strowman, and the returning Kane.
Shield's going over.
Shield.
Kane, Roman's gonna do a charging spear. He's gonna end Kane's career.
He's gonna retire both of the Brothers of Destruction in 1 year.
Yes, he is. Don't you see that happening? Don't you really? Don't you?
Oh my God! Oh, you know what's funny though?
Be a surefire way to,
I didn't even like when they brought Kane out because they did the gimmick on Monday was it was Strowman and Roman in a steel cage, and it was like if Roman won, it was gonna go back to being a 3 versus 3. or if Strowman won, it was going to be 3-on-5, and they had a mystery partner lined up, and Kane came through the ring. He came from underneath, and Strowman got the victory. And, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, you know, it's storyline continuity because he was in the first TLC match that the Shield's first match ever was in a TLC match against Ryback and Bryan and Kane. But then I didn't realize, oh, yeah, he's getting redemption for Undertaker. Like, it totally slipped my mind that, like, yeah, he's getting revenge for Undertaker. But, you know... I could see that. You're right. I think he's going to retire Kane. This is why he's back. He's back for 1 week.
He's going to retire him, and then he can say, I retired Undertaker. I retired Kane.
I retired the Brothers of Destruction.
I beat John Cena.
And the company wonders why they're fucking going down the tubes.
No, but you know what? And I was reading that. I actually read this. As far back as when Punk was in the company, they were still telling people that even back then to make him look strong.
Yeah, you gotta make Roman look really strong.
We don't mention his name. We don't mention his name in this podcast. Fuck that guy.
Wow.
Yep.
And you know what? The crowd is still fucking stupid because I keep saying this, stop giving crowd reaction. He comes out, you go silent. That's how you get rid of him.
Well, you know now their plan to make him to get him cheered is working because everyone, dude, people at my job are all marking out because of the Shield. They're all of them. And everyone that was bitching about Roman Reigns is marking out.
Wow.
Because they basically separated, they all suck. When you put them back together, it's like fucking Voltron.
It's kind of like how I always saw the Dudley Boys. It's kind of how some people see Edge and Christian. It's kind of how some people see the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, but the Shield's done. It had its moment. They became singles wrestlers. They aren't like they're baby faces. The whole thing about the Shield when they were the Shield was that they were heels and they would go and attack whoever was like the top guy in the company. That was what got them over. They are top guys in the company now. The same thing that they did for the Shield back then doesn't work now.
Right. I don't know, man. I mean, they got a good reaction on Monday, but is it gonna increase buy rates and views? I don't know. I mean, it's out of the current guys, this is really all they have.
I think I kind of think so. You know, I mean, it's
really, Earls.
Hey, we were talking about it earlier. You made the picture.
Oh yeah, true. Okay. Yeah, no problem.
That's why it came up.
You know what? Well, no, it wasn't the same episode. Okay, well, all right, yeah, that's fine. But I don't know, man. Like I said, to cap this off, I don't see them. I see them selling T-shirts. I see Shield T-shirts getting sold, but I don't see the buy rates really going up. I don't see attendance going up. I don't see ratings going up.
I kind of like that one too, Pat.
All right, fine. We'll fuck you, Pat. We'll end with that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
He sent that because I sing it sometimes.
I would love one night, Pat. I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
If you guys do karaoke, I want you to film him singing that because I would love to see that. I am so dead serious. I want to see that.
Dude, I came out once with like a full I think I have a video of it actually. I had like full ukulele and like a Hawaiian shirt.
Uh huh.
Yeah, like a full fucking gimmick.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I always liked Tiny Tim. I loved when he had that segment on Raw that one night, and Jerry Lawler broke his ukulele.
Well, you know what? That's actually how I first was introduced to him. Because when I was watching old Raws, that's where my dad was like, "Not this fucking asshole."
Well, see, that was the thing. Yeah, that was the one thing I didn't mention, that no one liked Tiny Tim.
And it was like a few years ago, and I was like, "Who is that?" And that's when he was like, "Tiny Tim." He had this song called "Tipped Over the Tulips," and I was like, "What's that?" And he pauses it, and he's just like, "Son, before you move on in life, I need you to hear this song." And then I got listened to it, and it got stuck in my head. I was like, "Dad," I was like, I have a decent enough job. You know, I have good friends. You know, I'm pretty well received among people. I have a podcast. You know, I have a decent life. You didn't need to do this to me.
Oh, yes, he did, because everyone has to suffer the same fate that we all have.
Yeah, and then I wound up getting stuck in my head, and I was like, "Fuck, I actually like the song." And I was like, "All right, what else does this guy do?" And then I knew he had the one that was on SpongeBob, the Living in the Sunlight or whatever. And I was like, "Fuck, I actually appreciate this guy as an artist."
Wow.
That's
sad. So
I have a weird taste in music. If you listen to my podcast, my iPod, it'll go from fucking if you listen to my iPod, it'll go from listening to fucking Tiny Tim to like Run DMC to fucking David Bowie to fucking Slayer. You know, I listen to a lot of random shit.
I have an eclectic taste too, but I can promise you that Tiny Tim is nowhere in my playlist. You know, Weird Al is, so that's kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
to
cap it off, let's. I'm gonna try to hit my timer on this one. So, okay, plugs. Our good friend of the show, Chad Flatt of the Pro Wrestling Weekly on thefanspodcast.com. Also, Retro with the Stro on VocNation.com. Our good friend Rob Kellum, live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wrestling Soup on Mixler.com Thursday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also Friday mornings on the download, iTunes and Stitcher. We're also on iTunes and Stitcher at emwcreations.com/KTR. Go to Facebook.com/Kayfabe Talk Radio. Like us there. Search us on YouTube. Like us on YouTube. Twitter.com/Eric the Red 211. Twitter.com/JR Earls Art, and Twitter.com/Mr_Bonesaw for all your gripes and complaints on the show. 43 seconds, bitch.
All right. Good job, Eric. Now say it backwards. There you go.
Till next time, guys, keep it kayfabe.
Bye.
Bye, bitch.
Of course! Advertisements on fucking YouTube.
Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made. Oh, I love Spaceballs.
Touch me or I kill you. Oh no, I'm sorry. Fuck, what movie is... no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking, I don't know why I was thinking Stripes. What the fuck was the quote from the Spaceballs? There's another one I was thinking.
Schwartz.
Huh?
Schwartz,
yes. Schwartz.
Your Schwartz is bigger than mine.
Yeah. Alright. Now, keep it kayfabe.
Tiptoe through the window, the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me.